How's the pie?
So good.
It's a type of pie.
This is how we do it.
And you know this, man?
Hey guys, Mr. Google here to review the latest reboot of Spider-Man. Man, this year has gone fast. The Amazing Spider-Man. The Amazing Spider-Man is directed by Mark Webb, who directed one of my favorite movies of all time. I mean, look at that poster. That poster's awesome. The movie's pretty good, too. I mean, that's weird. And it stars Andrew Garfield, Emma Stone, Reese Ifans, Irfan Khan, Martin Sheen, Dennis Leary, and Sally Field. Now, when I first heard that they were rebooting Spider-Man, I was really excited. I thought it could have been like a really new direction for the Spider-Man franchise, and I just loved the idea of having Mark Webb direct and Andrew Garfield, aka Eduardo Saverin, be Peter Parker. I thought that was an awesome idea. And going on to the Sam Raimi movies, I know everyone's probably like, Dustin, you didn't like the Sam Raimi movies? Honestly, I liked all three, like, almost like on the same level. If I had to put them in an order, probably 2, 1, 3, but they're all like the same rating for me, like probably like a 7.5, 8. I didn't love any of those movies. I like those movies. I just don't have that much of a nostalgia towards them. I find them to be really all on the same level. They're all really goofy, and if somebody calls out Spider-Man 3 for being goofy, look at the other two movies. They're just as goofy, and especially the first film. And I don't know, I just didn't really care about any of the characters in the franchise that Sam Raimi did. I just knew what was going to happen to those characters. I always knew Mary Jane was going to be saved by Peter Parker, and I always knew that Peter Parker was going to be that over-the-top nerd. He was good in the movie, so I didn't think he was the perfect Peter Parker. Peter Parker picked the peppers, apples, peppers. But anyway, I was really excited for this film. It was one of my most anticipated films of the year. I loved every single trailer I saw for it. And even though I was a little bit disappointed, I still think this is the best Spider-Man movie we've gotten yet. I know a lot of people either love this movie or hate this movie, but I still really, really liked it. I didn't love it, but I really, really, really liked it. A lot. I like it a lot. Andrew Garfield as Peter Parker, absolutely fantastic. Emma Stone and him have terrific chemistry, and I have to give kudos to Mark Webb. He makes the relationships in this movie feel very human and very realistic. It reminded me a lot of 500 Days of Summer in that, in those terms, because, like, their relationship felt really realistic, as in the Spider-Man trilogy with Sam Raimi, it just didn't. Felt really generic and very artificial. I also really loved the relationship with Andrew Garfield and Martin Sheen, Sally Field as Uncle Ben and Aunt May. I felt like in the first film, Uncle Ben's character was, like, the death of his character was really rushed, and we didn't really get to know that character that well. Really didn't get a good sense of that relationship between him and Peter. In this movie, it's totally present. And, spoiler, I guess, you guys probably already seen the movie, Uncle Ben dies. Okay, Uncle Ben died, and that's like an hour into the film, and we really get a good sense of what their relationship was. I loved Martin Sheen in this movie, and I also really, really loved Sally Field as well. Really liked her. Also really liked Dennis Leary as the dad of Gwen Stacy. And Irfan Khan's pretty good, too. C. Thomas Howell is in this movie for, I don't know why, but he's cool. C. Thomas Howell. Awesome. Reese Ifans. I think this guy's a great actor. I mean, he was in Greenberg, and who am I kidding? You guys haven't seen Greenberg. See Greenberg, it's awesome! He was terrific in that film, and when I first heard that he was going to play Dr. Kirk Connor as the Lizard, I was really excited, really high anticipation for him. I knew he was going to nail it. And even though this wasn't his fault, I didn't care about the character at all. I have to give Sam Raimi kudos for the 3 previous movies, is that I cared about all the villains. Even though as goofy as some of them were, Green Goblin, I really cared about them. They actually had a nice conflict. This character was really underdeveloped, really uninteresting, and it felt very rushed, his character. But I liked Reese Ifans. It's not his fault. He did a good job. It's just I didn't think the character was all that interesting. Now, as for the visual effects, I love the visual effects. Honestly, we're in 2012 now, and if you get visual effects wrong, I mean, there's something wrong with you. That's pretty sad. But Mark Webb succeeds. I also love the way the action's shot, especially the first-person thing with the web shooter. I thought that's terrific. 2 big things. One, there's stuff in this movie that, like, it has like a point A, but it doesn't have a point B, and you know what I mean, like the whole thing with Uncle Ben's death, like Peter Parker's trying to find out who killed his uncle, and that's like, he gets rid of that, like, halfway through the movie, so I have to blame that sort of on the script and partly on the director, Mark Webb. Sorry, love you. And one other problem, wasn't digging the score. Did not like the score by James Horner, found it very goofy. There were some times I really liked it, and other times I'm like, are you kidding me? I prefer the Danny Elfman score from the original 3 Sam Raimi movies way better. But other than that, I really, really like this movie a lot. I'm this close to loving it, but I like it way more than Kirsten fucking Dunst movies, okay? Kirsten Dunst sucked as Mary Jane. I forgot to put that in there. I have to put it in there now. I'm going to give this movie a very, very strong 8.5 out of 10. It's one of the best action movies of the year, one of the best movies of the summer that I've seen so far. I'm Mr. Google. Don't forget to TCAP, subscribe, and Kirsten Dunst sucks.
Yeah, throw your neighborhood in the air. If you don't care, oh yeah, throw your neighborhood in the air. If you don't care.